The first time I swam against a much taller swimmer was at Mexican Nationals. I qualified to the 100 backstroke final. I am 180 meters tall and I felt small next to the 2 meters swimmer. My friend Daniel was the shortest at 174. The tall swimmer was an Olympian and held the national record for that event. None of us could catch him, and I remember thinking, if only I was that tall. A few years later, Daniel broke the national record, and then an even shorter Daniel broke it again. Now I realize that height is important, but not as important as I thought. We get many questions about height and its relationship to swimming. The most common are, do tall swimmers have an advantage? Why do the best swimmers we see on TV always seem so tall? Does swimming make you taller? Let's answer the last question first. The short answer is that swimming does not make you taller. It is mainly genetics and eating enough during childhood and adolescence what determines your height. People might think that since the most famous swimmers are tall, maybe swimming makes them grow. But correlation does not imply causation. For example, according to statistics, people named Michael have won more Olympic gold medals in swimming than people with any other name. That doesn't mean that if your name is Michael, you have an advantage in swimming. It's really just two things that are related, but one does not cause the other. Sometimes causation goes in the opposite direction. There are plenty of tall swimmers at the Olympics, not because swimming makes them taller, but because their height gives them a slight competitive advantage. A slight competitive advantage can be quite difficult to understand, but if you understand it well, it will change the way you think about swimming skills, and it could change the way you see the world. Let's imagine this is the graph of how fast every swimmer in the world is in the 100-meter freestyle. Most swimmers will be between 1 and 2 minutes. What I mean when I say that tall swimmers have a slight competitive advantage is this. If we only look at the tall people's curve, the center of the curve, or mean, is slightly to the right of that of the large curve's mean. So if we look at the 100-meter freestyle Olympic final in Tokyo, tall swimmers will be overrepresented. Only one swimmer was shorter than 190. So, is it impossible to beat a tall person in swimming? Absolutely not. If we look at the graph of the men's 200 butterfly and we zoom in, we will see that the second fastest person in the world was Tomoru Honda. With a height of 172, he is faster than every tall swimmer in the world except for Krzysztof Milak. Every short swimmer here is faster than 99% of all tall swimmers. Statistically, tall swimmers seem to have less of an advantage over individual medley events. When I went to college in the US, I was one of the shortest swimmers. At that level, I discovered that there were many skills that I could develop to swim faster than taller swimmers. Some other genetic advantages appear to be having a long torso compared to height, having a larger wingspan than height, having large hands and feet, and being naturally flexible. There are other circumstantial advantages, such as having access to good coaches, physical trainers, nutritionists, masseurs, high-end facilities, parents with a lot of money, etc. But blaming your speed on the lack of those advantages can be a huge psychological and logical mistake. Janet Evans was 157 when she competed against East German swimmers who averaged 178. They were more muscular, and it was later found that the German socialist state was forcing them to dope. Most of the small advantages you need to swim fast aren't genetic or circumstantial. They are physical and mental skills that you can develop. Regardless of your age, body type, or circumstances, you can always improve your swimming skills. With many visible disadvantages, Janet Evans won the 400 individual medley, 800 free, and 400 free. In her TEDx talk, she said, "I discovered that life is not about doing one thing on a grand scale and being done. It's about testing ourselves every decade in new and glorious ways." If you are here in this graph because of the fear of water, this video might help you. If it's not available yet, click here to subscribe. If you want to avoid all of the most common mistakes in swimming, click on this playlist. If you want to visit our webpage, click here. See you there. Swim fast.